good braking power, sharp, responsive, and we're taking this turn at 55. So 55 on the turn-in. Even more, 57. Three, two, one. The shifts are great. Hello there, everyone. Welcome to another episode of DM Car Reviews. Today we have a very special SUV on our channel. This is the 2024 Volvo XC60 Recharge Plus. And I want to say a huge shout out and thank you to Talbot over at Darcars Volvo of Derwood, Maryland for providing me this car. All his information will be in the right hand corner side of the screen. So if you're in the market for a Volvo, reach out to him and he'll get you the best deal. But let's get her fired up and go take a look outside. For those of you who are more familiar with the older models, this is known as the T8, which is the plug-in hybrid version of the XC60. It has the gasoline engine and the electric motor. So the best of both worlds in one car. This is a very gorgeous color. It kind of reminds me somewhat of a blue slate from Infiniti, but a little bit lighter. Now, if I was equipping this car myself, I would go for the R design to get those sporty seats and the sporty wheels. I just love the way they look. But this is a very nice trim, and for a sticker price of $67,000. Everywhere around this cabin we'll find soft touch materials. They are high quality, very nice to the touch. This is the same kind of leather that I had in my 2005 Volvo XC60 wagon. Very pleasant. But let's hop in the back. I'm 6'2" tall, and there's lots of room here. We got the vents on the side to make better recirculation of air. We got two USBs, mini USBs, rear heated seats, pockets. Plastic here in the back of the seat, so in case kids are kicking, it's not going to damage the leather. A gigantic panoramic sunroof. And these are all touch sensors. Feels great. There's lots of headroom. Very comfortable. I like it. Let's take a look at the trunk. So for an SUV of this class, it's definitely got a lot of space. You can fold the seats. We got an outlet, a pocket, some more storage space, an automatic tailgate. Very nice. Let's pop the hood and check it out too. It goes up super duper high. So everything here looks compact and clean, but closing it is a whole different challenge. And as you see, there's no designated sound isolation here, which is similar to what actually BMW has been doing recently with their SUVs as well. I like the proportions of this car. It's pleasant to look at. It's just a very nice, calm design. We have our plug-in outlet right here. But let's take a look in the cabin. So hopping in here, I'm greeted to super comfortable front seats with great side support, excellent shoulder room, and we have these Swedish flags, which is a beautiful touch. Same design of the seats as they have been for years. And for some reason, they actually changed the sunroof to a swipe. So I would have probably left it the same way that it was always with a button. It's just easier, but they decided to change that. We got our storage space, this interesting shifter, interesting design, so to say. Park button, glove box, and this modernized Volvo infotainment system. Now, if you ask me, I kind of prefer the older system more, where you had the colorful 3D map and you could change the modes, the glass, the performance, and it would change colors. Here you're pretty much tied in with Google, and you have to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto if you want something else. We have our driving modes here. It used to be a scrolly right here that you could just press and switch the modes. So again, they made it a little more complicated than it should have been, and I wish they kept it the old way. But other than that, the design has pretty much remained the same. We've got our climate menu right here, where we can choose where we want the air to blow. This is pretty easy to use. We got a little bit of the physical buttons here. We got heated seats and heated steering wheel, and our navigation. We can also go through some options. I'm not sure if this actually supports Android Auto, but Apple CarPlay is definitely supported. We got a Google Assistant, settings, 3D buildings, and I wonder if there's a way to actually make the map a different view, because I want it to actually like point like straight, not upside down. And we have this map in the middle. It's very Google-ish like, obviously comes from here. Again, so no more colors or any of those pretty drawings that the older infotainment had. A frameless mirror with the garage door opener, good deep horn, memory seats, automatic windows, power folding mirrors. Press the L and R and they fold. Now, as far as the interior trim, it's very high quality. Everything is soft to touch. We also got the Harman Kardon speakers. This wood right here is questionable in my opinion. I would not go with the wood. I wanted like aluminum or carbon fiber. That's how I prefer it. But to each their own. So whatever works for you. So let's set off in this XC60. So the very first few feet that I'm driving this car, it's ultra smooth. I don't hear the engine, because we're actually in the battery mode right now, and the engine will turn on later once we gain speed. The cabin layout is very nice. I love how I can see the hood and just a little bit of the sides, so I can feel how big this car is. Steering is effortless on the parking lot. You can use your pinky just to turn it. So it's definitely not anything sporty in that sense. But there's so much torque here. Oh, that is crazy. I didn't even press the gas much, and it just rockets out. The steering wheel feels pleasant. It's got good quality leather on top of it. Again, this all feels leatherish, soft, and that is great. So what are the main competitors of this XC60? So in this class, you'd be looking at the BMW X3 and the Audi Q5. But since this car does have 455 horsepower, this would directly compete with the SQ5 and the X3 M40i, at least. I have no idea how quick this car is to 60 or what the quarter mile on it is. We're gonna measure the 0 to 60 today and see what we get. We have a floor-mounted pedal like in the Germans. And again, it's just so effortless. It doesn't even need the gas engine. Like, you press the gas a little bit and you're flying away. I'm not even touching the pedal. There is so much power reserve here, it's pretty shocking for a Volvo. This definitely will blow out of the water, blow the older XC60 T6 out of the water in terms of performance by maybe a couple of seconds. And that was already a very powerful car. Now, one thing that I do really miss about the XC60 is the inline six. If this was the T6 engine with the electric motor, I could absolutely see this car pushing 550 to 600 horsepower with ease, and it would actually sound very nice and athletic. Add some pops and burbles to the exhaust and you got a real sleeper 3-something second SUV. Question, do Volvo buyers really need it? Not really. They are more concerned about safety and comfort. I'm not even pressing halfway. This is crazy. Ooh, oh, Jesus Christ. Ooh. I only pressed like halfway on the pedal right now and we were flying. The cabin insulation here is magnificent. It's super quiet in the cabin. I don't hear any wind noise. It's a windy day and I can just barely hear anything. The engine is hushed quiet. They did great on the insulation. But my gosh, does this car have power and torque? Like, it just kicks you in the seat and it goes. Like, just if you're dailing it, I don't know, it just has so much usable power. But let's go into the different driving mode and see what that does. Let's go into power mode and see how that feels. We have automatic windshield wipers. So the only problem with this car, well, problem for some of you folks who love to drive fast, is it's limited to 113 miles per hour. I wish they didn't do that, because this car will easily hit 155. Easily, if not more, maybe even 170, and probably can. I'm only applying about 10% throttle, and we are just flying. We haven't used much of the battery resource. I think we started like 45 or 46, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll get to try some off-the-line power right now, because we have to move all the way to the right for our highway exit. We'll also try the handling, how it corners. Again, this is not a sports car. It's just a comfortable SUV, but so far, I've been super impressed by this vehicle. It's just so good. All right, instant jump. And we just left the whole light. And let's try some cornering. Coming in at 30. There's a little bit of body lean. Not bad. We're coming in at 45. So you could definitely do 50 miles an hour here on the turn-in. So even for the comfort version, non-R design, this handles very well. It's a good performer. Plenty of torque under the pedal. You do not feel speed here whatsoever at all. Good braking power, sharp, responsive, and we're taking this turn at 50, 55. So 55 on the turn-in. Even more, 57. Wow. I have to see what speed I took this turn in the Alfa Romeo Giulia, because this But yeah, that's a Model 3, a Model Y performance dual motor up there. But yeah, so just so you get an understanding of the performance of this XC60. You don't feel any speed. This speed or 40 feels absolutely identical. So as far as passing power, speed, you don't have to worry about a single maneuver. So we're going to go back into hybrid mode right now, so we can charge up the battery some more. And I want to see how this car does just in like comfortably. I don't want to drive fast right now. I just want to glide, see how that is. So gliding here 65 feels very relaxed. You can sit back and just chill. And if you want to pass somebody, put that pedal in and go. And that's it. There you go. Hybrid mode is reserved, so it's not as aggressive as sport or power, as Volvo calls it, but it's got very good potential. All right, so let's check the speedometer accuracy here. So at 40, we are seeing 40. Look at this, 1-to-1 match. So it's showing us the exact true speed at every mile. I gotta say, Volvo did this car well. They made it right. This is a huge upgrade over the older T8. An enormous upgrade, I would say. There's just so much torque here. I gotta say, I'm just impressed. Just genuinely impressed right now. And for those of you who have been watching my videos for a while now, you know I like fast cars. You know that I like to drive sporty, fast cars. And by my standards, this is a very powerful vehicle. Very powerful vehicle. All right, well, let's try the U-turn radius. All right, let's try it out. And we're just gonna accelerate like pedal to the metal, no launches, no boost, nothing. So we're gonna come to a full stop. All right, full stop. All right, 3, 2, 1, and pedal to the metal. Let's go. All right, let's go. 4.89 seconds. All right. And we are limited in top speed, so, but we got there very quickly. All right, 3, 2, 1. The shifts are great. 4.88 seconds. All right, very nice. All right, let's make one more run, see what that gets us. Maybe we can do better. All right, we have power mode on. Let's come to a full stop. All right, so 3, 2, 1, let's go. The shifts are so aggressive here. 4.84 seconds on that. Good time. 8.66 on the 1/8 mile. And we did the standing quarter mile in 13.23 seconds. So very good times. Very good. But let's see what our speeds were, our trap speeds. So lap time, history, drag. All right, so we did. All right, so we did the 1/8 mile in 8.66 seconds at 86.36 miles per hour, and then we did the 1/4 mile at 13.23 at 108.91. So as you can see, the car did build a very good amount of speed, and the 100 to 160 kilometers per hour came in at 6.04 seconds. Again, great time. So these numbers are good, stellar, especially for an idle start with no boosting, and I don't think we'll really do any better with boosting. But this is very on par with the X3 M40i. So obviously from launch control, the X3 will be faster by about 0.7 seconds on the 1/4 mile standing. The times 100 to 160 are fairly similar. The X3 is a little bit quicker in that discipline, and the trap speed will be a little bit more on the X3 M40i. But this will be faster than an SQ5 off an idle, just by far. This will be much faster than an SQ5, not only on the time but also on the trap speed. And this discipline at least will be at least a second faster. So again, great numbers, very impressive, and this car definitely feels faster than the numbers suggest, especially with its torque curve and the hybrid mode. And throughout all our driving and accelerations, we are still at 33 miles left on the battery. And that Corolla is gonna go. You can hear it roar, but we're gonna give it some gas and we're gonna go. But the Corolla is doing pretty well, actually. He's not too far back. I obviously let off. But nice, good for him. These newer Corollas can actually move pretty well. You'd be surprised. Very nice. Very nice. So what can I say about this Volvo? Great vehicle, great power. I like it. But now talking about these Corollas, I've seen some quick Corollas in the wild. You'd be surprised. They start slow, but once they're rolling and they're going full throttle, they can actually hustle. As you can see, he was actually doing pretty well for a 2.0 or whatever, 2.4 liter, whatever he has under the hood. So very nice. So let's summarize this test drive. What do I think about the XC60? Stellar, magnificent option, and with all the incentives and discounts that these Volvos give you nowadays, the prepaid maintenance, I mean, this is such a great deal. Now, if only you can find somebody who can take off your speed limiter, the top speed, then I mean, this is perfection. I think there is a guy like from Lithuania, I think it's called like Vita, like his company's called, I think, Vita or something. They can actually take off these limiters for those who need it. Because again, 109, 110 is a very small limiter in my opinion, at least for this kind of power. Not that you need to go faster, but again, it's nice to have, just in case you need it. Great handling, good brakes. The Volvo brakes are gentle, so the rotors do wear out pretty quickly. You'd have to replace them every 5,000-7,000 miles, maybe 10,000 miles. But beside that, these are perfected cars with excellent build quality, great safety, and great comfort. I highly recommend it, so give this car a look before you consider any other competitors in this class. It is definitely up there with the top of the tops, of the top cars, so it's definitely there. And I would like have a great time dealing this car as well. Like it's such a joy to drive. So again, all these three cars are very good for their own purpose. The SQ5 will give you the adaptive air I think that's called just the air suspension, and the X3 M40i just has an incredible inline six, a legendary B58. So I mean, that engine is, I think, absolutely the best in that class, like no comparison. Just the character, the torque, the silkiness, you can't beat it. It's way more silkier than any four-cylinder could ever be. So the choice is yours. Drive all the cars and just ask yourself what works best for you and your family, or if you're just getting a car for yourself. See what you enjoy more, but in terms of sportiness and handling, the Beamer will easily take the win for this one. The Audi is much softer. It's much more, you know, roll prone when you turn, so it's definitely the most comfort oriented option. And as far as the sound, this car will definitely come in last, because the X3 and the SQ5 sound better than this car. Now, as far as the torque curve and just the daily pickup, this is easily one of the best options. Well, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this test drive, and what would you get? Would you get this, or would you go with X3 M40i or SQ5, and why? I would love to hear your input. Well, till next time.